The land of Tamriel is inhabited by many different people with many different cultures, and while we've only been able to play as a handful of these in the Elder Scrolls series, some of them have really stuck with me. Today I will count down my top 5 favorite races to play as in Skyrim. Keep in mind that the following list is subjective and these are simply my own opinions. Your own top 5 list may vary, so feel free to post your own list in the comments below. But without further ado, let us begin. Number 5. Dark Elves. The ancient race of elves known as the Dunmer reside in Morrowind, and I'm sure a lot of you have close ties to this race from playing the Elder Scrolls 3. As with Argonians, the Dunmer faces a lot of prejudice in Skyrim, something that's especially clear in Windhelm. That being said, the Dark Elves themselves are known for seeing other races as below them and have commonly practiced slavery in their lands. They take elven supremacy to a whole new level. These ash-tinted elves have a strong affinity for destruction magic, and I love creating Dark Elf battle mages. Their ability to cloak themselves in fire when things get rough is great, but mostly I just rely on their terrifying facial expressions to scare my opponents away. There's a reason that Dremora and Skyrim are modeled after the Dark Elves. Number 4. Argonians. Some of you might be surprised to see Argonians on this list. Hailing from the Black Marsh, also known as Argonia, this race of reptilians is one of the most badass people on Tamriel. They're resistant to disease, poison, and they can breathe underwater, something that makes them well suited for defending the treacherous swamps of their homeland. They have displayed an amazing resilience in the face of slavery by the Dunmer, and even though I often crack jokes about Argonians being scale faces in my Skyrim series, I have a lot of respect for this race. They also look amazing, and my own Argonian Phantom Fish became a favorite among the Darklings. When I play as an Argonian, I usually play them as a thief or a shadow scale assassin, as there's nothing more terrifying than waking up one night and seeing a lizard man with an axe standing over your bed. Sweet dreams. Number 3. Wood Elves. These are the elven people that reside in Valenwood, a land that is sometimes called Tamriel's Garden. The Wood Elves worship the forest they live in, and their land is a great example of how Tamriel would look if mortals had not interfered. Many of the inhabitants of Valenwood live by the strict code known as the Green Pact, and there are some pretty dark parts in this treaty. One particular part of it states that when enemies are conquered, their meat must be eaten, not left to rot. So when a wood elf slays their foe, they must consume said foe's corpse within 3 days. Luckily, this custom isn't mandatory outside of Valenwood, otherwise role-playing as a wood elf would be a very tiresome affair. Just imagine clearing out a bandit hideout and having to then eat every single person you killed. My favorite thing about playing as a wood elf is without a doubt their archery skill. Whether I'm playing as a bow-wielding assassin or a lonely hunter in the wilds, the Bosmer is always a great choice in my book. Just don't make fun of my height. It might end poorly for you. Number 2. Bretons. Sometimes called the mongrel race of Tamriel, these people have a mixed ancestry which gives them the best of both worlds. They have elven blood which lets them use and control magic better than most other races, while still retaining the look of the more human races on Tamriel, which saves them from the harassment and prejudice that the beast races face. They hail from High Rock, where political strife and internal conflict is just a part of their daily routine. When I feel like making a powerful mage, my first stop is the Breton. While the High Elf is undoubtedly the stronger pick, they lack the charm I feel the Breton has. They may look like your average diplomatic Imperial or even drunk Nord, but if you get in the way of a sorcery-wielding Breton, it's the last thing you'll ever do. Ain't that right, Marthar? Number 1. Khajiits. This should come as a surprise to none of my regular viewers. My favorite race in Skyrim is undoubtedly the Khajiit. They hail from Elsweyr, a region in the southern part of Tamriel. The name Elsweyr comes from an old Khajiit proverb that went along the lines of, "A perfect society is always found elsewhere." Hence, Elsweyr. Great job, Bethesda. While I rarely take advantage of the Khajiit's ability to see in the dark, as I despise the look of the Night Eye spell, I love their stealth skills and extra melee damage when fighting unarmed. It's just a shame that hand-to-hand combat wasn't a proper skill in Skyrim like it was in Oblivion. I also love the way they talk, and it's undoubtedly the race that suits my own preferred playstyle the most, the stealthy assassin. Who's a good kitty? Oh, Khajiit's a good kitty. Now, who wants some skooma? Thanks for watching this top 5 list. Big thanks to ShoddyCast for providing some amazing lore videos for the different races of Tamriel. I will link their lore series in the description. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, then you can find a playlist down below that contains even more top 5 goodness from me. Stay dark, everyone.